Now, what do you have to say to the people who think that meditation is a waste of time at workplace, I would say?
Yeah, so I've seen countless examples where mindfulness has been inculcated in the workforce, and the entire company has seen tremendous progress. I can give you two examples of very famous companies, and I know the people who have introduced mindfulness there.
Right.
One is IBM. I recalled speaking to PCS sir, who is the head of Buddha CEO,
Right.
and he was the one who, he along with some people in IBM, they introduced mindfulness, something related to meditation and mindfulness, where employees were taught meditation, and they're doing, and this was introduced globally. So IBM was not locally, it was done throughout the globe. And the way it has shifted the mindset of employees has been tremendous, because otherwise they would have dumped the program, right?
Right.
But it is still going very strong. The second example was EY, Ernst & Young, where I recall the employee has left EY who introduced, she's working with Oxford Mindfulness Center,
Right.
but she was the one who started in London, she started Mindfulness Week or my meditation hour for the entire employees globally. And my wife used to work with EY, and she used to teach people meditation there, and everybody used to meditate together. So and obviously now the program there is also going very strong. Otherwise, if they won't see the result, it would have been discontinued.
Right.
So when I say companies should introduce meditation, or rather meditation is not a waste of time, is because if anyway your employees spend a lot of time around water coolers, there is a culture of water cooling, there is a culture of smoking, right? Employees go out and they anyway do all this stuff.
Right.
If you go out and smoke, you're actually getting more stress because your body is inhaling smoke, right? It's common sense.
Right.
If you're doing that water cooler gossip and all these things, anyway, employees are exchanging, others' energies in terms of words, and then they're going back to this. It's not like they've forgotten what happened, right?
Correct.
So, for example, if I'm meeting you at around a water cooler, and I'm discussing some things with you or somebody with you, it's not like you're going to your work desk and you're going to forget what just happened, right? You anyway starts to think. Although you're there on your computer, subconscious is there.
Definitely.
Subconscious brain doesn't need your involvement. You're still typing, you're still doing your stuff, but in your head you're still thinking, oh, what did Naman say? Why did he say that? Who does he think he is? All these thoughts will start to come. So when you introduce mindfulness, all these distractions, all the chatters, all these I would say inefficient time that employees are there, at least they'll be aware of it. They'll start becoming aware. And we don't have to meditate for 2 hours, 1 hour, Right. This could be as least as the age of the person, which is roughly 20 to 30 years in the young corporate right now.
Correct.
Could be 20 minutes as a normal rule of thumb. And when it is 20 minutes, you are at least aware of what you are doing, right? And when you are aware of what you are doing, it becomes very easy for you to ensure to cut your time more towards, because let's say, for example, if you meditate in the morning and you're a smoker, you go to your, you go with your friends to your roof or smoking zone and you're smoking, at least you'll be aware of this is not right for me. This least it's what I expect that people will understand. And what happens when you do meditation over a consistent period of time, your brain starts to realize itself, because what happens, you close your eyes, 80% of the things you can't see or do.
Correct.
Right? So there is no brain connected, so 80% your body is relaxed. 10% you can't touch anything, so you cross your hands, you can't move your hands around.
Definitely.
10% the rest is remaining your legs, you cross your leg, you can't move around. 100% your body is with you only. Now what happens, you're going back to your thoughts. Right? So their awareness is building. So as you do meditation consistently, your awareness becomes stronger and stronger. Then what happens, not now, but 6 months from now, 8 months from now, 1 year from now, that time, that smoking time, that chatter time, that this time, that, and which is not aggregating to the growth of the employee or the organization, people start to at least notice that this is not healthy. And once that change starts to happen, it becomes very easy for, not just for HRs or the boss or the entrepreneur or anything, it's just the whole company becomes responsible as a one to make sure that, okay, let me not just waste my time here, let me just put my time something which is going to have higher returns for my growth or my company's growth. So this is why meditation has to be, like, the entire focus should not be on meditation. Like, you should not meditate 2 hours in an 8-hour workout.
Yeah, definitely.
Then it is ineffective, because most of the time, and if you're stressed, if you're not feeling well, if you're not, then it makes sense that you meditate 1 hour, 2 hours, because your health is also there. But on a daily routine, when everything is fine, you need to focus on your work. 40 minutes a day, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening should be the bare minimum. Everybody should meditate in the workplace. And see it for yourself. If it works, then go talk to other people, share your experience.
Right.
Make sure that, company like IBM and EY did. So you do for your own company. Yeah.
Really amazing. So the major takeaways from this discussion are like, instead of wasting time here and there gossiping or smoking or just spreading negativity,
Even going out to eat.
Yeah, definitely. So instead of doing that, why don't we put that time into meditation and have a better perspective of work culture and life, and definitely it will improve the teamwork, as you said. Now coming to next point, I want you to tell any employee, like it can be from any company or anything, any field, some top 5 benefits of meditation.
Okay. So the first benefit that comes to my mind is calmness. No matter what the chaos, no matter where you are, because in business world there are times where the higher you go, right, the more your time is being respected. That what I mean to say is the more value your time has, right? And when you're there at the top or when you're there at the mid-level, people look up to you, right? Your employees will look up to you. Somebody is there who is looking up to you. If you're not living to your best, right, you're not doing justice to yourself, and you're setting the bar low for people who are beneath you.
Right.
Hence, in that situation, what do? Meditation helps you in realizing this fact that, okay, let's say X people report to me or I report to X people, and they're not doing well. Either you'll get the feedback or you'll give the feedback, right? So when you are meditating, you are first aware of yourself. So awareness and calmness, these are the 2 things that comes to your, like, it's instant. Right. The third is, when you're meditating, your body releases a lot of happy chemicals. They release a lot of happy
hormones
in your body. Basically, your body starts to respond to meditation, right? So if you're not exercising or this thing, at least your body chemically is being balanced, right?
Correct.
You can work with an intense focus. Your focus, which is a very common thing that you get, is intense focus, because if you meditate for 20 minutes and you only focus on your breath, that means you can work for 20 minutes and only focus on the work task at hand, right? So intense focus is the 4th point, which is extremely crucial when you're working in a business. Then empathy comes in, where, like I said, if your mood is not right and you've not meditated, but your employee has meditated and they are aware, empathy will come in. Okay, if Idris is not doing mentally, he's not there, let me just come back later, let me just give him the space he needs. Right. Otherwise, what happens, no matter what you are feeling, my work is there, I'll come thopify it on you and then, move on. And then your work will get more impacted because you're already there.
Definitely.
Not there mentally. And then something is being dumped on you, right? And then you're thinking, why am I here? Like, that existential question comes immediately,
Correct.
But if you're meditating, if you're aware, you know that, okay, this work is there. No, I'm not feeling good, guys. I'm just going to sit and meditate. And then you sit and meditate, then your calmness is your balance comes in. So these are the 5 major things. Your focus is there, your calmness is there, your awareness is there in your body. Like, your body responds to meditation, so your body is balanced.
Correct.
And empathy comes in.
Correct.
So these are the 5
Amazing.
Major, I think. Other than that, and these have intangible effects also. These are the 5 tangible things.
Right.
Intangible is what? You are more productive. If there is a meeting, you understand, everybody understand, we have to respect each other's time. So
Correct.
how the meeting goes well. Then when you're talking to somebody else, like I said, when the customer comes in, or you have a client meeting, you're meditating, you're happy, you spread the same happiness to them, And then they go to somebody else and say, yeah, you know what, I went to PMC office and I met Kavita, I met Idris. And I felt really happy, you know. And then they are happy. So indirectly, you're having a lot of intangible impact also.
Really amazing. Now, I believe you started meditating in 2019. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So thankfully, I remember that. So Naman, I want to know the difference between the time period or the work. I mean, in terms of work before 2019 and after 2019.
Okay. So as I told you, I met Patri sir in 2016, right? And he told me those three things, and you're not living right, you're not eating right, and you're not reading right. Okay. So living right took me 3 years to figure out like what did he mean, which was obviously meditation and the right way to live. 2019, I'll tell you, there was a lot of happenings around me. My mother got diagnosed with cancer. Okay, Corona came. I was working with government. They redirected my salary to Corona fund. Like they kicked out all the consultants and they put their this thing to it. I was in the middle of chaos and everything was coming. I got married, so I was a newly married guy with a lot of this thing going on, right? And I got COVID also. So on top of it, I got COVID. So first is like everything was not right. Okay, and what happens when if nothing is going right? You tend to get low on energy. You tend to get depressed. You tend to get unwell mentally and physically also.
Of course, yes.
So when I started meditating, post 2019, right? One thing was I was very, very, very clear what is that 20% that I need to do so that majority of my problems are being taken care of, which was my own mental health. Because if my own head is not there in the place, that means no decision will ever be right.
Definitely.
I will always be late. I will always make inefficient this thing. So one thing was make sure that this 20% this head is there. So meditation became a very important tool for me at that point in time. Started meditating, started seeing all these problems individually, starting using help. It took me around 1.5 years to come out of everything and to get back to my best. And the moment now when I look back, like going forward, it was very like it was very strenuous in my own head. But when I look back now, it was a learning experience, right? So post meditation, I would say I was able to solve these problems with the help of my team, with the help of my, the tool, the meditation. If it would have been 2014, 15, 16, I don't know what would have happened because neither my food was right. I was eating non-vegetarian food in US when I came back to India. There was no concept of reading this thing.
Correct.
And all my friends, obviously, they were all, run away from your problems kind of attitude was there in my own head. But if I would not know meditation, I can't imagine myself in that situation in 2019.
Right.
So this is the most important, this is the biggest experience I have because of meditation. I was able to survive 2020 phase.
So you simply mean to say meditation can make us help us making better decisions.
Yes, because it's a Pareto principle, right? 20% of your time impacts 80% of the result, right? So what is that one or two things that enables you to maximize your benefit, maximize your result, maximize your returns? For me, it was mentally. Mentally, I need to be very strong because I don't know from where the money is going to come. I know for a fact that money needs to be spent, right? I was 100% sure that I recently got married, so there is some expectation around your stakeholders, which is my wife, my in-laws, my family, and thankfully everyone came on board in a supportive way. Everyone joined hands, and we were able to fight literally everything, no matter Corona, no matter work from home, no matter no jobs, whatever. A friend of mine was leaving. A friend of mine actually recommended me for Yoshuri is a media company. He was leaving. He said, why don't you try for an interview there?
Right.
I tried. In 15 minutes, virtually, I had the job. I had the package that I wanted. I had everything. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is how manifestation actually works. Because just because that 20%, that mental health, that your mind is in place, you are able to manifest also, you are able to be in the moment and making sure that everything around you is going smoothly. Because of my mental health, right, I was able to tackle everything around me. So, yeah, so this is how meditation has impacted my life post 2019. Yeah.
Now, I think, time won't allow us to discuss it further, but a last question. How to deal with toxic people in any organization?
Wow. So, toxicity comes from awareness, how less aware you are, the more toxic you can be, because you're not thinking how you should be. Sometimes you're just reacting and you don't even know that you're reacting, right? Sometimes just by your facial expression, somebody might feel something awkward, right? Because let's say I brought some food from my home made by my mother, and I'm offering it to you, and you're saying, I don't want that. I don't want it. Is like, I'll say, why did he react? And then my day will go this thing, right? So first is when you're making everyone meditate, you are actually checking their toxicity, and nobody likes toxicity in them.
Definitely.
Okay, so when you're sitting closing your eyes with your own thoughts, nobody is actually telling you that you're toxic, but you have a certain sense of this thing that my words might hurt. Like I said, when you're talking to your employee, and if you've meditated and if you know your mood is not right, you'll say, okay, come back to me after some time, Or if your employee or your colleague has meditated and you have not, and he has said that your mood is not there, he'll say, okay, I'll come back at some point, right? But if meditation was not there, right, you would be talking anything to them, they would be talking anything to you, right? And then it's just like I said with the water cooler challenge, right? You'll go to your desk, you'll not stop thinking about it.
Definitely.
Although you're working, but you're still in your back of your head, you're there.
It's going on there.
So when you're dealing with toxic people, first thing is to make sure that the culture, because your culture defines who you are, right? Not your employees, not your intelligence. People can learn skills.
Right.
People can be hired for new skills.
Right.
Right. Everything can be taken care of. But what type of people are you hiring?
Correct.
For example, one of this thing that I have in my own is to make sure that everybody is vegetarian. Ideally, everybody should be Jain. So interviews in interviews, during resumes, I actually ask them, are you Jain? Do you prefer Jain food? And if they say no, I don't, then there is a point that I will consider. I'm not against it. Like, it's there, but for me, my priority is to have a certain set of people who share the same set of principles.
Correct.
Because then it becomes very easy for an organization to grow. For example, if everybody is a vegetarian, not Jain, not this thing, but if everybody is a vegetarian, or if everybody is a non-smoker, right, there becomes a certain sense that even if you get one or two smokers who prefer smoking, they will have some sort of reluctance to go out on smoking breaks. Right. Although they can smoke before and after, they can smoke during also. Right. But the entire culture will drive them to look at their own health. So let's say you come, let's say for example, somebody has come who has recently smoked. You'll say, why did you do this? Don't you know what is this impact on your lungs? Then you will send them photographs of your somebody's lungs. As a culture, you're growing, right?
Definitely.
But if you hire anybody and everybody without looking at their background, you don't know what sort of mindset they have, what sort of how adaptable they are to this thing. Right. If they are adaptable, then no problem. Hire anybody in the world.
Correct.
But you have to pay some sort of awareness, some sort of attention to who is going to work with the current set of employees. Because current set of employees are already comfortable.
Correct.
Right. Somebody coming in will have an impact. Either it will be a positive impact or a negative. Negative become toxic. Positive obviously enhances the entire growth.
Definitely.
So this is how I think meditation can be very, very practical, very, very important as a tool, as a culture, as a lifestyle in a company, because then you see your profits also, because you are doing your dharma in a better way, in a more efficient way.
Really amazing. So a lot of responsibility lies in the people who hire people. Am I right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was really amazing to talk to you, and a great learning for me today. And I'll definitely share this knowledge to everybody through our PMC channel. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you viewers for watching this program. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe this video.
you.